Studio.
Generous.
Do not give them one fucking photo.
Heart and soul.
Retarded agents.
The language that Neil Zlozower is capable of.
Retarded fool, nincompoop, idiot.
Could level Pacoima.
So you just got fucked.
Get some, get some, get some, get some, go again.
Highly developed in some areas and not very highly developed in others.
He would definitely be on that Mount Rushmore of photographers.
A mad fuck.
Hey, Carmine.
The salt of the earth.
Benevolent asshole.
He's kind of the A to Z. He's real.
Louder!
Neil's the definition of rock and roll.
He's a real fucker.
I came here for. Get some, get some, get some, get some, go again. Get some, get some, get some, get some, go again.
Neil Zlozower. First of all, what the fuck kind of last name is that?
Zlozower. I mean, you know, that has to be a rock photographer's name.
Zlozower.
Like, it's just so perfect.
I never knew how to pronounce his name for the life of me, man.
Are you Neil? Neil Zloz. Yeah, that's me.
Until he went to me, hey, it's Zloz. I'm like, that's way easier.
My friends call me Zloz anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I don't live to love you.
motherfucker.
The line. Man, it's just an animal underneath the sun. I'm nothing but an animal.
Fuck yourself, I'm out of here.
And everybody said, oh, Zloz, you got to go to Zloz. And I'm thinking, who is this guy, you know?
I saw him on Sunday at church, and we just hit it off right there. And ever since then, we've been rolling together.
Up to MTV doing videos of everyone. Before that, if you wanted to see the bands, you had to buy the magazines with our pictures.
Back then, it was totally different. All you had was the magazines that came every month.
He was the king of magazines. I would read every magazine there was. I would look at every
Cream magazine, Hit Parade, all of those were the magazines you would, you know, I never had the money to buy them, so I just look at them forever in the store and go home.
You're going like cool photo, but you're wondering,
Who took these pictures?
And after a while, I started reading the photo credits, and you see this guy with a weird name, you know, Zlozower. It's like, this is a fake name.
And I opened it up, it was Van Halen 2, and I remember looking at all the shots, and I thought, fuck, these are killer. And I wanted to know who took them, and it was the name I couldn't pronounce. It was Zloz.
Then I saw a couple other photos with other credits. I go, that must be a guy's name. Zlozower.
So I kept on seeing Neil Zlozower, Neil Zlozower, Neil Zlozower.
I kept seeing this reoccurring name, photos by Neil Zlozower.
It added to his mystique. He was there and took the photo. Amazing.
this motherfucker's in there listening to the conversation. He's like, how did the show go?
He must have been there. He must have been that close to the guy on stage when you see this incredible photo.
How can he just be in this shit quietly, a fly on the wall, like we want to be?
It kind of changed my life.
His photos make you want to be that. As a young musician, that's what made, I want to do that.
Because it gave me something to shoot for. I go, wow, look at that. There's 1 million people there.
This motherfucker who's taking the photo is with them all.
I gotta have that.
He's inside it all. He's backstage. He's in the fucking pit. He's getting sweat fucking dripped on him. He's seeing all the Van Halen shit that we want to see of how he's doing the shit. He knows too much.
Every picture of Eddie Van Halen that I've ever had, he's taken. And they were actually right over there. Like, my favorite picture that I had is right where she's standing right there.
Just a lot of great shots backstage after a show where the adrenaline's pumping and they're all soaking wet.
We presented a world people wanted to fantasize in.
Were they pissed? Was it great? Are they banging somebody in there? What is happening?
Here's Dave making out with some chick.
Pictures of Zeppelin and Stones, and they're looking right at Zlozy, you know, they're looking at him, and we're going, this is magic here. This is what we want.
Is this guy like part of the band or something?
And Neil, he was like almost a fifth member of the band.
Neil has a tendency to be able to integrate himself, like he's almost like one of the band.
You know, he became kind of an icon with fans as well.
He was kind of invisible because the bands respected him enough, and he was not a goof. He was just like them.
Here's Ed. He used to drive to my house. Of course, Ed had to park his Jeep on the front lawn. He couldn't park it in the street like a normal person, so as you can see, his Jeep's parked on the sidewalk.
Went immediately to some sort of like godlike status in my mind. I've taken all these fantastic fucking photos of all these rock icons.
In my brain, I had this guy up on like this pedestal, and then you meet him, and it's just like,
You're him?
And they're just like this rough, growly, like, and it was just like this loud. I'm like, man, that guy, who was that? And my friend said, that's that Neil Zlozower guy, famous photographer. And I'm like, no way.
And all those feelings we had all went immediately out the window as soon as he opened his mouth. We realized he's just another idiot, just like us.
He wears who he is on his shirt or in his shorts with his motorcycle boots. And you better be ready.
There's only a handful of guys in the history of rock and roll that were really good at really capturing a timeless moment on stage. So he was one of those guys, and still is one of those guys.
This is with film, so it wasn't like I shot 50,000 shots and this was the best one. You know, you get like 1 or 2 frames, and you know, you get one good one, the next one's either too soon or too late.
Someone like Neil Zlozower, he can explain the technical aspect of what he does to everybody. He could write volumes of books, but nobody's ever going to see through his eyes the deeper than the technique.
I think somebody touched him and said, you're going to shoot pictures.
He can capture a mood and a moment and make it stick. Where 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, you look at that photo, it still gets you.
I owe him so much because he did capture me in a way that I think I was embarrassed or shy to project.
Neil's able to dig into their personality and bring it out.
My hero's always been Jimmy Page.
I just want the ultimate Jimmy Page photo.
If you capture him just right, it's the epitome of rock.
He just captured the essence and the heart and the soul of who Jimmy was.
That's the money shot that defines who he is and why everyone loves him.
That's when I put it together and kind of went backwards, went, oh, I've been looking at this guy all my life.
There's times where he was on my drum riser, leaning against one of my cymbals that I'm about to annihilate.
The finger just automatically clicks. It's not like, okay, I gotta, there's no time for thinking.
And I'm like, dude, you rip your arm off this. And then he'd like, right at the last second, pull his arm out, I'd smash the cymbal, boom, and shoot.
And then I see later on the results of his photos, and it's amazing.
His photos speak to me of someone who's so in it, who loves the music so much, who's so in the moment with it. It's almost as if he's got the guitar, and it's just happening where he just can't not take the right photo.
Right. I don't need anyone telling me someone. I don't care, I'm having fun. I got a new flame, this is on. Yeah, you got me dizzy. Yeah, you got me spinning. Yeah, you got me dizzy.
Every time we're together, I want to know something about Van Halen. And he'll tell me stories.
He'll tell you a story from a long time ago, but when you tell him the story years later, hey, remember that cool story you told me? Like, no, man, it didn't happen that way.
That's one thing about Neil. He could tell you what year, what time, what somebody was wearing. He's very amazing with his memory and remembering dates.
So he's got a really cool story. He's in Texas with Van Halen.
We were in Jacksonville, Florida.
Him and Alex Van Halen are in a 4-seater Ferrari.
I was never in a Ferrari with Alex Van Halen.
There was a couple ladies in the back seat.
So we got in some car with some kids.
And the song Hot for Teacher comes on.
All of a sudden I heard the beginning of Hot for Teacher, which I never heard for some, and I said, hey, Al, who's this? Carmine Appice on his Synsonic drums?
And Alex sort of looks over at him and he goes, that's me, you asshole. Well, years later, I ask him, like, Neil, remember that song? He's like, no, man, there was no girls. Wait, was that a Ferrari? No.
Of course, he's known as a Van Halen photographer.
My live of Van Halen, my live view of, I've seen pictures, but his pictures brought the show to me.
When somebody knows you that well, it's not just knowing you as the musician, but knows you as a friend. They can shoot stuff of you on stage. They almost know what you're going to do or when you're going to do something, and they wait for that moment.
He got David Lee Roth straight out with his legs kicking, man. That was, it wasn't here, it was out here.
Which was the most important thing, and I can't stress that enough, that he came out and lived with us on tour, and I think that's why he got so much good stuff of Van Halen.
For the US Festival, Probably Dave came up with the idea to rip off that photo. We looked at the Polaroids, and as you could see, the band really blend in with the backdrop. And when you looked at the original photo, it didn't quite cut it. So Dave, nah, Zloz, this ain't quite cutting it, you know. So then we went to this location, which was literally right alongside the freeway, and we did this, and this is just, you know, a pretty close rip-off of the raising of the flag of Iwo Jima, world-famous photos.
He's got loads of pictures of us that, you know, would probably prefer be burned.
That's the dirt bike shit.
He ate with us, he drank with us. Boy, did he drink with us, you know. You know, hey, Anthony, come on, man, let's go out there and, you know, let's go hit the bar. And that was Neil. That was kind of my relationship with Neil.
He partied like us. He, you know, got the girls like us. And bottom line, he was one of us. He was like another band member.
So I went on tour with a lot of bad boys, Poison, Guns N' Roses, Rat, Motley Crue. But the things that we did and I saw and I participated in with Van Halen were by far way over the top than any other band I ever toured with. Closer. Chin down a tad. There we go, same thing. I like the tongue out. Get the hands in. I'm only seeing one hand. I'm so close. There we go. That's good right there. Get the hands a little closer. Chin down.
I thought Zlozower was Italian. Fuck, no. I always thought it was German when I was a kid. I'm a good old Polak fucking Jew, yeah.
What country is that from? You make that shit up?
I think it was something like Zlozower.
Dad's family came here from Poland. They went into, I don't even know what it's called, New York.
Ellis Island, you know how they would change everybody's name?
You come in here, what's your name? Zlozower. Okay, well, you're now Zlozower. That's close enough, so.
You know, and I don't even know how to pronounce my name anymore.
And then over the years, it just became Zloz.
When I was younger, I worked at my dad's liquor store. I made 50 cents an hour. I worked 10-hour days, and at the end of the day, I came home with a whopping $5 in my pocket.
Neil's dad was awesome. You know, he was my buddy. We'd go buy 6-packs at the market, come back.
Had a great time working with my father, and that's really where I got my first sense of business.
My dad, he was a really sweet man, but he was so passive.
I grew up in the Jewish household where usually the woman is the boss.
Neil used the terms like, you know, she was real kick-ass, she wouldn't take anything.
She was the one who really disciplined me and yelled at me.
And I think Neil's like her.
He had to be that way to make it in this business.
I'm wearing my mother's dog's dog tag because I was there. My mother liked that dog more than she liked me. My sister, she was 180% the opposite of me.
We have an interesting relationship.
I was like the little devil.
We were close when we were little. Neil had this sort of perennial little smirk on his face, like, I can't believe my sister's so square. I think Neil enjoys intimidating me.
I like teasing girls.
You know, we didn't have a lot of money, so we would just, you know how kids are, they just make games out of nothing. We used to take the handles off of our tricycle. We'd take off all our clothes and wash them.
This camera here was the very, 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 very first camera I ever got in my life, probably back in 1961. And it even has my name on the bottom. I used to like walking down Fairfax and shooting the old Hasidic Jewish people that look like the people that time forgot with the payas and the dandruff on their shoulder and the, you know, the big hats that look like Davy Crockett and stuff. And that just fascinated me. Saved up enough money, went to a camera store with my dad, bought this camera. It was $330 brand new, which was a lot of money in 1972.
Went to the Hollywood Bowl, shot some pictures, and with Todd, went out hustling and selling them.
We liked each other. What was it? Because we were putting together model race cars. And then we both discovered that we liked rock and roll.
We grew up with a lot of reverse prejudices. And one thing I really appreciate about my mother in particular is she wasn't like that. It wasn't like, oh, my son's got a black friend. It was just Todd is Todd.
That's young Oliver. And he was like playing Richie Blackmore, Highway Star.
That's what it was.
I remember it was yesterday.
He gave me this fucked up nickname that I hate to this day, which was Out of Focus Ollie.
Well, they didn't call you Out of Focus Ollie for nothing.
No, you were the only one that called me Out of Focus.
Well, yeah, but then you had that exhibit like 10 years ago I went to it, and every photo was out of focus.
Todd was so much classier than we were.
Tell her the story how your dad used to think me and you were two. Yeah, one day my dad came up to me, hey Todd, I gotta ask you something. You spent a lot of time with Neil. Are you guys, you know? Did you ever hear that story?
Yeah, he tells it all the time.
Todd or his dad?
How do you remember it? How do you remember it?
That he caught you guys fucking.
I would like,
When I showed my dick up your I mean, we're still to this day like family.
This is my dad talking right now.
Oliver's about the closest thing I have living to a brother. I've known him since junior high. Fucking break it, motherfucker! Like you're de-virginizing some chick.
I mean, I only have 3 friends from back in the day, and Neil's one of the 3.
Back in 1961, we had here in the U.S., which was called the Cuban Missile Crisis.
There was a whole scare. You know, if there's a retaliation, it's going to come from over the Pacific.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Me and my sister were out in the backyard, and my mom and dad came up to them and said, hey, kids, do you want a swimming pool or do you want a fallout shelter?
Everyone built bomb shelters.
Hey, Mom and Dad, we want a swimming pool. Yeah!
That was, to me, the most embarrassing thing.
Well, 2 weeks later, they were putting in that bomb shelter.
So in the back of his house, there was a big door that opened from the ground.
You walked down about 15 stairs.
So we put speakers, we hooked up the stereo from his bedroom, dropped wires down the air filter shaft.
And it was perfectly pitch black. It was the ultimate perfect dark room.
And of course, we get bombed in the bomb shelter. So
not just as a dark room, but as a place to go and do whatever drugs he was doing at the time.
People started hanging out while we're developing film and making prints and just kicking back and smoking.
His dark room was in a bomb shelter. And I can remember so vividly because there's that smell.
Not knowing when we got out, we must have reeked like crazy.
Barrett's used to be in the valley, and I always hated driving there. So I'm like, okay, I got to the fucking valley, let's smoke a joint. So, you know, when you're young, you don't think that you smell like fucking pot wherever you go. So I'd walk in there, you know, I'm in the car driving, smoking, the fumes are just soaking into my clothes and my hair. And Barrett would tell me that I'd like walk in there and I would just reek, you know, and everybody'd look at me like, oh, this fucking degenerate person's been smoking marijuana. Ugh.
And my mom would go, honey, what is that smell? I'm like, Mom, that's called marijuana.
Everybody after school was sort of like going to Zloz's place and hanging out in the bomb shelter.
That turned out to be one of the greatest things in my photography career. If we got the swimming pool, I never would have been here right now. See how skinny she was? Her fucking legs are this big. I want to see her in a little bathing suit. Feels all right when it's good and tight.
Love so heavy, love so heavy. Can you catch me as I'm falling past your window pane? Love so heavy, love.
Sad man, this little girl with this little ass, and it was this, and it was that. I'm just on and on and on and on and on.
Yummy.
He grew up a nice Jewish boy in California. I mean, his parents tried.
He goes, yeah, because I was looking at you and I thought, man, I'd like to squeeze her.
Here's when I wanted to bone Sandy.
Since I'm best friends with him now, that never happened.
It trips me out when Neil talks about chicks. I'm like, you're 60.
She looked like she liked me, huh?
And I think that's obviously one of the reasons I like to hang out with the band too, because, you know, when you are, then you got the backstage passes and, hey, I know the band, you know, come on up to my room and we'll talk about it and all that kind of stuff. He hung out with Dave a lot because Dave would always have, you know, chicks around him.
Imagine that in a reality show. He should be the Bachelor. He should be the Bachelor. Yes.
He kicks his feet up. What the heck is that?
Half man, half boy, I would say that to him.
He had no problem, no shame, sat there. I go, I'm going to take your picture. So I took his picture. That's fine.
He's more like half boy, half man.
He's very proud of that picture.
It's disgusting. Because he's like a 16-year-old in his head. Like the day he dies, he'll be 16 years old in his head.
That little pussy, look how skinny she is.
Neil definitely has some weird shit going on.
Neil, like most of us, is quirky.
Won't keep it a secret. He'll let you know exactly what he likes and how he likes it.
We all went to dinner. You know Neil, he's not quiet about anything, Neil. And Neil, I mean, he just pulled out his phone and said, "Hey, Kenny, check this out, man. This porn site's the chicks on this site, man. Let me tell you, dude."
It's just Neil. So it's normal.
I can't deal with people that aren't cool. I was hanging with some English girl and I called her a chick and she's like, "I'm not a chick, I'm a lady." And I'm like, "Ugh, that sounds old and boring."
The really big old titties. So anyway, there's Neil, like.
I want to do this album cover of takeoff of Jimi Hendrix' Electric Ladyland, where all the women are naked and they're holding a picture of Jimi Hendrix, and he perked right up and he's like, "Oh, I'm just the guy for that."
I don't know if you know Seinfeld, the television series. There's a character called Kramer. Kramer had what he called the Kavorka. He just drew women to him. Neil had it. It's an amazing thing. I saw it over and over.
I think it was like, I don't know how many naked women around, they're like 20 or something like that, but they were really naked. He was very professional.
Like, even when he starts talking about chicks, I'm just like, he's my mom's age. We call him Grandpa Neil. Like, he's like so sweet to kids, and he's just as loving as he is, dark and twisted.
And I swear to you, one beautiful woman after another would come up. I thought it was like I'm on candid camera. This woman is beautiful. This woman makes this woman look like.
One more. There. The dog's gonna be psycho after this. Okay. So hold that. Don't move. Stick your chin out a little. That full swing. There we go. Lean towards me. It's like you're leaning away from me. You scared me? Okay, hold that right there. That's it. Hold it. Good. Chin up a little bit. Because when you do that, it just goes into your hair. So if you can somehow keep it like that. There, come on, Joel, get it. More. Joel, all the fucking way over there. I got a dead spot there. Okay, get the fuck out.
When I go over to the studio, he's got there's a picture of, I think it's Pete Townsend, which is one of his earliest pictures that's so good. I think Townsend's got the white jumpsuit on. Oh my God, it's one of the greatest pictures I've ever seen in my life. I go, "Neil, this is so good." And I go, I mean, it's like he's embarrassed by it.
It was 1970. There were a lot of drugs going around. I was too young. I was pretty straight. In 70, I was 16 years old, maybe 16 years old, maybe 15 when I shot that. I started off my photography career as a glorified fan.
Zloz was the technical person. Zloz knew everything about photography.
But Todd had a big mouth.
So then we started a company, Neil Zlozower, or GZ.
We had a friend of ours, and his name was Greg Brown.
We made the best counterfeit photo passes.
And we were going to shows together.
And getting the other photographers really pissed off because we were these like little 15-year-old assholes.
Back then, they didn't have the big goony bouncers, so you could bring a camera into a venue.
Once Capitol Records saw our portfolio, they put us on.
Marshall Chess Jr., who was managing the Stones back then.
4 months I've been calling him. 20 messages I must have left. And then all I know is I call this time and I hear, "Who the fuck is this and why are you fucking calling me so much? You know how much you're costing me?" And I said, "Oh, Mr. Chess, I'm Todd Green and I want to shoot the Rolling Stones." He goes, "Oh yeah? Well, be at my office tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Slam." I went, "Whoa."
He had a rental house in Hollywood.
And I'm sure Marshall Chess was not expecting to see two teenagers. He goes through the portfolio and there's Eric Clapton that we shot. Then he gets to Little Richard and goes, it's good. Turns the page, B.B. King. Turns the page, Chuck Berry, and goes, "If you guys can shoot Chuck this good, you can do whatever you want with the Stones." We get walked onto the stage right before the Stones.
Mick was my idol. He could do no wrong.
And shit, like Jagger's like this far away.
Mick had this terrorizing look on his face.
We see lines of coke on top of the Marshall amps. Keith will go back and And come right at you.
Yeah, I could never wait till the end when I pulled the film and undid it from the roll. Oh my God, there's that shot of Mick. Is it sharp? Yeah, it's razor sharp. So that's probably one of my all-time favorite shots.
3 weeks later, one of our photos got in Life magazine. Neil's path and my path diverted.
Did he tell you about it? Oh, okay.
At a Yes concert.
So after the show, I come out, I'm sweating.
And he was fighting to shoot because it was an open pit.
Soaking wet, just worked my butt off.
He says, so what's up?
Oh, it was too crowded, so I just went and talked to some chicks the whole night.
And he just sort of blew up.
I'm like, what? And I started yelling and screaming at him.
I'm out there breaking my balls, sweating like a motherfucker, you know, all this, and you don't even shoot anything?
Look, Oliver, if you don't want to shoot any photos anymore with me, just let me know.
And I said, you know what, that's it, man.
I didn't think he was going to say that. I was like, oh, no, I want to keep on working.
In any event, we ended it.
Here I go.
I thought literally, when me and Todd broke up, I thought I was done.
40 years down the road, we're still friends.
I hooked up with a writer back then who was a friend of mine, Steve Rosen. So here's Steve right there. He looks a little different.
He has been sort of my champion literally since the day I met him. If there was ever any work, he would call me. To be around him made me a better writer. I mean, I feel like, oh my God, look at these photos he shot. I mean, the story's got to be like up to that level. He knew people, he knew magazines, you know, he would make calls for me, he would open doors. He was really supportive of me. I'm really lucky to know him. I'm lucky that he likes me.
He knew we were building this new company called Mirage. And I was always looking for people with great eyes that were smart, you know, aggressive, and had a personality.
Barry, to me, single-handedly changed the face of rock and roll photography.
Most photographers were capturing a great moment, whereas Barry was designing a moment.
Barry taught me how to basically use a band's body language, and instead of four guys standing like,
he was perfect. He came in right after I was doing Motley.
It was early Motley. This is before Shout at the Devil was released.
I mean, I did everything on Shout at the Devil with them.
Musicians aren't models. In general, they don't know how to pose.
I'll be posing, right? I'm all. I said, Michael, lift up your chin. You look like fucking Meatloaf. Like,
I want someone to give me direction. Obviously, I'm not a professional model.
Give me a little lean, Lindsay. Everybody in my face. That's perfect. That's great. Spread this leg a little bit, because I want to see a little line here. If you go like this, it's going to look like you have one leg. So we want to see your, yeah, that's good right there. Good, Courtney.
He does not let things just happen. Everything in the frame, okay, is because it had to be there. The person's tilt of their chin.
Come on, give me a little fucking attitude, brother Zach. I want you to give me attitude. I want you to lean forward. Lean in my face. Come on, more, fucker.
With the person standing behind and the person standing in front, every single person in a frame. Neil doesn't just hit the trigger and get a picture. He tells them what he wants.
That way. And Zach, come on, bring your leg up a little bit, Zach. Because you're hanging too much. Put that one in front of Nick a little more, right there. Now bring the back one towards it. There we go. That's better. Looking good, guys. Here we go. Joe, try to get it so the headstock's not going in his chin. Yeah, I don't care what you guys do as long as you got instruments. As long as you don't mind the face like that. You like it like that, though, right?
Yeah, it looks fucking badass.
Yeah. That's great right there.
Before he shoots the frame, he knows exactly what he wants it to look like. He knows what he's after, and he knows when he has it. So when he has it, he doesn't have to continue shooting. He doesn't really need me at all. He can do it all by himself. But when we work together, it's just that much more that we can accomplish together. We really are a very close-knit team, almost if it was like a pit crew for a race car.
Quarter inch, chin up, quarter inch.
Yeah, chin up.
Chin up a little. Go back this way a little with the face. Turn the chin. You know, I don't even have any film in this camera, right? I don't really say put your chin out. I usually go stick your chin out. It's not, because I don't like that look. That's like, hey man, give me your money, man. I'm gonna knife you.
Give me that fuck me look. It works just as well on men as it does on the women.
That's good. You know my motto, feels all right was good and tight, huh? People come up to me in this day and age. I don't know what they're thinking, but they're like, hey Neil, so when you do a session in the studio, how do you know what to put your camera settings at? Well, you use a flash meter. Duh.
Light meter. Just like Neil directs the motions to the person as to what they should be doing in front of the camera, he also is definitely directing the direction of the light.
This guy really knew what he was doing. His lighting was impeccable.
You know, I learned stuff from him. He was very good, which I'm sort of okay on, at very simple lighting and making it look more than it is.
His lighting technique, awesome. Takes 10 years off any face.
Now, I always liked using one light, because that's what Mother Nature is, one light, the sun.
Here we go, guys. Paul, pay attention. Get up a little.
He knows the sun. He knows the power of the sun, the power of light.
Yeah, so if they're blurry, you don't care, right? Okay, hold this now, bud. Remember, remind me.
He didn't look like a photographer.
First, I was like, don't leave me alone with this guy.
I need an afro like Neil Schon, you know, like in the Journey days, like this big afro and moustache.
I got some girls that are like, Neil, if you grow the Jufro back, I'll fuck you.
And especially after, a week or a couple of weeks being out with us, he looked worse than a lot of the fans sitting out there.
When I first worked with him, he had this like shaggy curly hair, and he wore these different t-shirts with holes in them, and shorts, and his motorcycle boots. I looked at him and I went, oh my God.
Once I had to shoot, actually, one of my favorite actors, which people may laugh, but I think the guy's fantastic, Steven Seagal. He looks at me, gives me the one something, and he goes, man, he goes, you look like shit. And I go, look, I don't have to look good. I just got to make you look good.
What I noticed when I did my first photo shoot with him was I felt very comfortable because there's no treating you differently because of who you are.
Huge stars, like I'll be at recording and I'll see Paul Stanley walk up to Neil going, hey man, I need those photos. Like, Paul, you're gonna have to wait because I have this going on. He's talking to Paul Stanley like that. And Paul's like, okay, it's like.
Some bands are nervous when they get to, they usually think I'm some old guy with a suit and tie because, I've been doing it so long. They think I'm like 200 years old and, gonna have a cane and a walker or something like that. But, they come to my studio and then I just treat them like anybody else.
If you're incompetent, Neil tends to treat you. Get your phone, goddammit.
I got it, goddammit. There you go.
When you're with him, I don't care who the hell you are getting the authentic individual.
Have you ever get an email from him?
Doesn't give a fuck what he says. Like, he'll say anything to anyone. Like,
he'll write one line in capitals with like 20 exclamation marks in red, bold. It's like he's yelling at you from behind the camera.
That's the best way I could put him. He's just the most straight up person on the planet.
I have no second thought about getting in someone's face and reaming them a new butthole if they deserve it.
If he's in his mood, oh man, he can fuck you up good. I own a couple restaurants. If he's not feeling it, if something's slightly off, I'm gonna hear about that one plate for the next 2 fucking weeks.
Working for Zlozower was hell's photography.
He had me assist him on a couple of shoots, and he was like really hard on me, and he made me cry.
If you could survive this boot camp and you didn't sissy out, it's gonna make you tougher.
He was a mean bastard.
I had that look on my face, like a little puppy dog. Don't yell at me. And he never did.
I don't think he would have been as tough with me if he didn't want me to succeed.
In hindsight, it was like such a good working experience.
I absorbed 2 years of really fantastic knowledge from somebody that was my mentor.
Told me, if you can work with me, you can work with anyone. And it was 100% true.
The both of us really worked well together because he was such a perfectionist and so was I.
When you're doing a photo session, he starts yelling at you if you're not doing what he thinks you should be doing, Hey, come on, Anthony! Let's have a big smile, do this or that.
But I think at the end of the day, hopefully they respect me more because most of the people that I deal with, no one speaks their mind and everybody's scared of them and thinks, ooh, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Eddie Van Halen.
He will tell you right away, you look like shit.
Get back in there and fucking tighten up.
I don't ever see Neil being disrespectful to somebody who can hold their own.
Like Steve Vai once said, there's no stop valve on my mouth.
And there were stories.
You're gonna wear that crap in this shoot? Really? You're gonna look like that?
You know, he terrorizes his subjects.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry, sir. What do I do? You know, and
He yells at you until you throw a cymbal at him or you drop a bass. He's taken many pictures of me where I just drop my guitar, throw it down, and it turns out to be a great shot.
This is a normal, when you're behind the camera with Neil Zlozower, this is what you're hearing. Come on, Vi, fucking give it to me. What's wrong with you? Chin up, I said. What, you don't hear me? Think about what you're doing. Look here. No.
Don't lean back, always lean on my face.
Don't move. I said, don't fucking move.
Don't move. I have long-standing relationships with a lot of the bands I shoot. I may abuse them and thrash them and make fun of them.
You guys are losing it. Give me some fucking animation, what? This is the Struts, not the Sleepers.
But they know at the end of the day, it's all for me to try to get what I'm trying to get out of them.
When you shoot with somebody else, you know, we're like, hey, where's the Slozy attitude, man? Come on, you're not pushing us to do anything. You're just going, okay, guys, get together.
Well, you got to know what you're getting into with Neil.
If you're too thin-skinned about yourself, then don't go work with Neil, because he's going to get something out of you that another photographer won't.
He can be very annoying during a photo shoot because he talks the whole time and he's like, do this, do this.
Neil went that extra little bit that sometimes would piss the shit out of you, but he got the shot, you know. Then we'd all go out and get fucked up.
studio shots of musicians, for me, are the most boring photographs. Bunch of dudes with, you know, long hair standing there looking at the camera. Not Neil. He'd scream at him and tell him, like, you fucking ugly fucks. And, you know, he'd get something out of nothing.
The energy that he got in the shots, they came from him. So the energy is like, come on, let's go, yeah, that's it, you got it. Let's get a fan, let's get smoke, let's start you on fire.
This book says fuck you. That's a Zlozower book. This says everything.
I'd end up going, Neil, you fucker.
Because it was pushing it to the extreme, which is who he is and keeps it lively and animated.
Because he'd always be pulling some kind of shit.
I don't know where the fuck you book is. He's got that. You got one of those.
Yeah.
When you're on the toilet taking a dump, this is what I tell them, it's good.
If you go in this bathroom right there and open the door, there's a fuck you book.
It's all the rock stars giving Neil the big fuck you.
The fuck you book is classic, though.
And that's probably why in his little fuck you book, you know, you got the pictures of everybody flipping them off every which way.
Here's Steven Tyler, 1988, in front of about 18,000 people just flipping me the finger.
That's how Neil gets the shots, though, too.
It's funny, I went to go pick up my kids at my ex's house, and I had that in the bathroom, like when you first walk in the house, and I went in there to take a piss. It's still there.
He's without pretense, and he doesn't apologize for himself.
He's who he is no matter who he's with.
He's a no bullshit guy.
I remember once I had some friends of ours, very wealthy, very sophisticated, wonderful, kind people. I introduced them to Neil because they were backstage at the same time. And I just thought to myself, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I mean, it's a barrage of onslaught of filth and dirt with a comedy edge to it.
He's like the Don Rickles of photography.
And there he is, just going off with his, and everything is sex and pussy and, oh, that guy's a dickhead or something, you know, whatever it is. And here's my friends that are just like in shock.
I mean, you know, he screams and he shouts, and it's like the Zlozower performance, as I call it.
I never really had a good head of hair for rock. Get out of here, you know.
Now, say you're a metal band and you want to look mean. I will shoot with him, and I'm usually straight-faced. It's really hard. He'll make me laugh so much.
Chin up, hide the camel toe.
Taking her fucking clothes off. Shouldn't have done that. Here we go.
I think if you look at all my pictures, most of them I'm laughing.
And you kind of need that because you want people to look themselves.
If you want the look, you have to get over the laughing first to get into the zone. So that's the problem.
My mouth hurt from laughing. I couldn't take it anymore.
I've been in photo shoots where it's serious, and it's, you know, you gotta, okay, look look a little happier. Like, give me a little smile, you know? Okay, where with Neil's a lot of times, we can't use it because we're all laughing in this one.
You get over the laugh, he'll bring you up, and then you can shoot. And he's really got a method to his madness.
He makes you feel comfortable.
It sounds like it's all joking, but Neil knows how to work. He studies people, and he'll know the right thing to say at the right time to get them to where they are comfortable.
Lean him back. I'm
trying to stand up.
Trying to stand up, motherfucker.
Back in the day, Neil used to like to drink this malt liquor, Mickey's Big Mouth.
He doesn't drink on the job.
There was more than one occasion where he'd be shooting and all this stuff.
Absolutely not.
You know, he'd get a little drunk, you know, everything's going along real smooth. And I thought, oh man, we're doing a great session. He's all, oh shit, I don't have any fucking film in the camera.
He's very, very professional.
Now, you can't get much more casual than that when you're shooting.
Did you put film in the camera?
He gets you to that comfortable part. It was like, this isn't a photo shoot, it's a hang.
He was just quick and got the job done.
I'm fast and I'm painless, and you'll have fun.
Neil is an asset as opposed to an asshole. He's a good one to work with.
Yeah. What's going on here? What's all this? What's all this nonsense? What's all this then? For Mr. Zlozower, what's going on here? Right there. Glenn got his cock out, everyone look!
Okay. Neil's shot of Nugent backstage where he's kind of grabbing the strings of that big Birdland, kind of glaring at the lens. That is my image of Ted Nugent since I was like in 10th grade to now.
Back then, I was probably shooting them and I was all fucked up on Quaaludes or whatever. So I was probably like, hey man, what are you doing? And you know, if you look at that look on his face and you could see him, he's gripping those strings, just bending them. I always tell people, yeah, he probably was thinking that was my neck and he was strangling me.
Here's the Zlozower we love.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good. And I remember the reason why I like that photo, because when I was younger, living at my mother's house, I had the same shag carpet, I had the same Gerard turntable, and I had the same Marantz amplifier. Spinal Tap.
Oh, wow, British group. I'm making up a British group. And then they put these wigs on and went.
They all came in and they were pretty much just like regular people, you know.
I said, oh, what's the name of your group? And they said, Spinal Tap. I said, Spinal Tap? I said, oh, cool.
And then once they put on the makeup and the hair, the wigs and so on, they became Spinal Tap.
So I was telling all my friends, oh yeah, I'm making up this group called Spinal Tap. They're from England, you know. They looked at me, Liz, that's not a real group. I went, that's not a real group? You're kidding me. You mean they're imposters? Yeah, it's like a joke. I was so upset. I couldn't believe it, but you know.
Yeah, so I figure we'll take you in front of the whiskey, shoot with the rainbow, take you in front of the hustler store, maybe in front of the tattoo place. We're gonna try to get the lights off behind you and shit like that. So, but I want you guys standing with like fucking attitude and shit like that.
I've seen him crawl through a dumpster.
I said my balls were hanging out and everything.
In shorts and a motorcycle boot.
He's probably getting excited.
On a blistering August day to get the shot he wanted. Of me.
He could be happy, but that doesn't mean I'm happy. So I'll keep on going until I'm happy in my mind.
I mean, there's not a minute that Neil's not 100% engaged.
You know, Neil, I think Neil gives it 110%, whether he's like, you know, shooting Led Zeppelin or working on a motorcycle or helping you move.
When I go home and go to sleep, I know I gave it 1,000%.
Neil is like a Marine. He's able to go somewhere and improvise and immediately adapt and overcome.
Years ago, I remember he said to me that what he wanted to do was be the best rock and roll life photographer there was.
It takes balls to get up there and do what he does.
The photo pit got dangerous with Slayer and Pantera and Anthrax.
I've seen so many kicked heads and gashes.
The crowd starts going ape shit.
Stage diving and stage diving.
They started pulling up the seat covers.
Diving and stage diving. After a while, I'm sick of it.
They had metal hinges and springs.
Elbows and stuff like that coming over.
Throwing them towards the stage.
Sometimes if you see it coming, you try to one.
And I'm like, son of a bitch.
You know, they think I'm making a face. I'm not making a face, and almost like, you know, it's a gash across the head, and you know, a boot comes and slashes the poor guy.
And I'm more like this, trying to fend off things, and there's bodies flying over.
And I've seen him crawling around in the pit in front of the band.
You're looking here. He's just shooting. He doesn't give a shit.
He knows to not have the microphone in front of your face when he takes the shot. He'll go over the side. He'll wait for the light to be behind you. He'll wait till your head is blocking out the light so you get a halo. He knows how to position that stuff.
You get a big boot in the back of your head.
Because he didn't see this. He was shooting.
You know, looking when to get the spot.
Nailed him. You see this.
Took my elbow and elbowed him in the head.
Like it was a natural reaction.
So after the show, Frankie came up to me, "Hey, Zloz, I saw you elbow that guy. That was great, man."
A lot of people are too afraid or too timid. Not Neil.
If I have any problems, I'm just gonna kick someone in the head.
The most admirable thing about Neil is that he's unstoppable.
Yeah, that's just me being Zloz. The guy deserved it, okay? How many times are you gonna jump in and push me and disrupt what I'm doing?
He was pissed. He got hit, and it was really quick. And thank God nobody sued.
After a while, I started wearing steel-tip boots in the photo pit.
So we do hardcore photography. Down to the core.
It's very hard to get a band to make a photo where you look at it and they kind of lean out of the page at you.
It's not real blood. Why do you call it the blood session?
That was real blood. It was pig's blood.
Was it?
No.
Let's see. We were introduced by Henry Rollins. Said, "Henry, I'm looking for another really good photographer to represent." And he thought about it a second. He says, "Call this guy. He's the man."
Henry Rollins.
Henry Rollins. No one less than Henry Rollins recommended this guy.
Did you know that, Neil?
I knew it after he told me.
So here's our little Neil Zlozower section. We don't like to give him too much exposure because it goes right to his head.
Yeah, and it goes right to his wallet.
Rollins was right. He is the man.
Like, who hasn't he photographed? I mean, you're like, he's kind of the A to Z.
Neil, in my opinion, has made people's careers.
Slozy is my man. He always has been.
He's the last of a breed of photographers. I mean, he'd be the Led Zeppelin of photographers, you know, because those kind of people just aren't around. I mean, there's tons of brilliant photographers, but not photographers that would go and put as much heart into it as he did, even way back in the day, like I said, to get a shot.
He goes the whole mile, man.
I took a camera body and I took the lens off. So I put the strap around my neck, but I hung the camera body behind me. And then I put a neck brace on like I was in a car accident, okay? So I had the neck brace so you couldn't see the camera strap. And then I had this big, long lens because I knew I was going to be shooting from my seat, so it was this long. So what I did was I took the lens and I stuffed it like right down the crack of my butt here. So it was sort of, you know, in my like pants, but it was sticking out here. And then I put a big, heavy coat on. So I walked through the front door of the Forum and I was like walking like this, you know, sort of, because I had the lens here, so I couldn't stand up straight because the lens was here. I had to arch my back to make sure the lens was there. So I walked in and the guy looks at me and goes, "Neil," he goes, "What happened to you?" "Oh, I was in a really bad car accident. I could barely walk, but I don't want to miss David Bowie." He goes, "Go on in," you know. So got to my seat, off comes the neck brace, out comes the camera body, 300 millimeter lens. That's probably the show I shot that photo with over there. So, hey, you got to do whatever you got to do to get the photo. You know, I was really, you know, back then I was, got to have it. Got to do what you got to do.
We'd drive all around town sometimes, all around LA. He'd say, "I know this wall that's got all this graffiti on it," and he'd take you there and you shoot on, and you're the only one that he shot there.
So Steve called me up and they had this idea to paint him with silver paint. So he came in and we painted him. But the paint that we used, it was like the movie Goldfinger, where in the beginning where the girl, they find her dead on the bed because they didn't leave a place for her skin to breathe. So we painted Steve basically 90% of his body is running around in underwear, all covered in silver paint. He got sick after that shoot. Then a year later, he did Ultrazone, and once again, he wanted to do the paint thing. We started off with a little, and by the time we got done, he had tons of paint everywhere, all over the studio, on him, on his guitar, on the backdrop, everything.
That guy works his ass off. He works his ass off.
I remember we went to so many different places with Neil that day. and we ended up underneath a parking ramp. I'll never forget that as long as I live, and just how great those pictures turned out. They're some of my favorite. And the Iowa package altogether, there's a lot of politics that goes with the art of it, and I like it. It's kind of like, it's cool when art has drama. I like it.
Fuck you! This fucking hurts!
Arms straight down, Sid. Arms straight down. Let him hang.
Get that fucking mask in my face. Hold that. There we go. That's it right here, you fucking animals. Hold that. That's better. I like that. Yeah, that's sick. Hold that.
I'm not going to go out front.
Sick is good. Hold it. Keep that head up. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, here we go.
He had a little trampoline brought in for me.
Let's see what we got. No move. Hit 1, 2. So there was like a series of ads we did. There was a concept.
Al's, you gotta stand right there because I gotta have the, you know. And
Allison from the Donnas, who I love, one of the only girl bands I've ever liked in my whole entire life.
I'm like on this trampoline thing with my guitar.
So one guy would be doing their thing and the other guy would be filming him with this video camera.
Bouncing up in the air and legs going out and arms and
2, 3.
You know, I'm doing all these air poses and I'm trying not to kick her in the face. I'm going up and like my foot's, dude, I'm gonna kick her in the head. And he's like, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. And it was a kind of a trippy photo shoot. I had never done like aerobics before and a photo shoot at the same time.
I'm more of a music freakazoid than a photographer.
His attitude is very rock and roll. Neil's the definition of rock and roll. And I think that comes out in his photography.
So if you said to me, Neil, you could never ever shoot another picture, or Neil, you could never ever listen to music again as long as you live, that would be an easy choice. It'd be, okay, get rid of the photography. I want to hear music till the day I die.
I know 20 amazing rock photographers. Neil's different than the rest of them in that way. The rest of them are not as rock and roll as Neil.
He's synonymous with rock and roll, and that's a big accomplishment. You go around and you ask every artist, or you ask, and people will go like, fucking Neil Zlozower, of course. From Van Halen onward and Zeppelin onward, everybody would go like, Neil Zlozower. There is no bigger honor than to be considered that much of a rock star. You are a rock star in your own right, period.
Because his ears are blown out. He gets 4 inches from your face. He goes, hey, how are you? Like, Neil, I'm right here, man.
No one has a problem hearing me.
Hello, I'm Dweezil Zappa. I'm sitting here in Neil Zlozower's studio. We just shot the cover of Guitar Player magazine. I don't even know which month it is. Do you know?
American.
American Guitar Player magazine.
American Guitar Player.
Because, you know, too many nights at the source, right there. And if that's not real, I don't know what is.
And the great thing about Neil is that he's never lost his love of music and rock and roll.
And I think it has formed his life and his activities. He's the moth, that's the lamp, and he kind of flits around it, bounces off it, but he's never far from it.
Make sure you let me know if the flash doesn't flash. It looks like it didn't flash on a few of those. I don't know if I'm shooting too fast or what. Oh, well, no wonder. It's pointed over here. Look.
What the fuck's not my fucking job?
What the fuck you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
Okay, go. I'm like, why are some of these really dark? Hold on a second.
Yeah, get over there.
Come on, we gotta do more. Here we go. What the fuck's going on? They're lighting Declan over there. They're lighting
Hey, he looks great. He needs it. Look at him. Look at him.
I'm not a bitch of your
Look at fucking guy. Look at him.
I think he jammed it. Come on, more. Hold on, there we go.
Ask a stupid question.
It's a stupid question.
What the fuck's the light pointing over there for? What can you say about Chattiest? But I love the guy.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. Isn't this exciting?
This is great. Whoa.
Darling.
Chattiest darling.
Darling. Oh, that good. Good.
No, you look good. No.
3.
If you ever are around him for more than 5 minutes, you feel like you've just been boxing 12 rounds with a heavyweight and got hit by a truck.
And it gets tough sometimes. I mean, you know, you've been around them. I mean, Neil is a loud guy.
And your blood coming out of your ears because he's so loud!
When I talk, it blocks out a fucking buzzsaw or a jackhammer.
Seriously, his normal speaking voice is like this!
Hey, dum-dum. Yeah, now that's fucking right. Okay, come on. Give me some fake playing ones. He's probably the craziest, goofiest, funniest person I've worked with in my photographic career.
So now, he'll yell at me and I'll just be like, fuck you, man, shut the fuck up. You know, so I just yell right back at him, man, you know. But, and actually, he kind of likes that. Like, I think if he's just like, come on!
Hey, fuck you, Neil, you fucking piece of shit! You fucking asshole! Eat my fucking dick, you cock-sucking motherfucker!
Hold on, a little more spit this time. Good. 5 more we should have. Good. Yeah, that's good right there. Do the with the mouth closed. Good.
I don't think we can go up to the Hollywood sign, Chad.
He got dressed in this little loincloth, something like you'd see Ted Nugent wear.
You mean like Nugent? That's what Nugent does. I'm like,
And he hooked this
freaking rope over one of those letters and I was gonna swing
back and forth. It looked like he was wearing a diaper.
Freaking Tarzan.
I mean, who's gonna do that? It looks sick. Oh my God.
We got the call like, hey, you're gonna go to Neil Zlozower's and do a session with him on his roof, where a billion bands have, shot an amazing photo. So we were all a bunch of kids, still like, oh my God, we're shooting photos with Neil Zlozower.
He just shot Korn on his roof.
One of these billboards right up above the roof, you could climb up, access it from the roof of the studio. And there was this one that said avoid wet stops, and we climbed up on there and did some photos.
And I obviously love guitar players, and he would shoot a lot of guitar players, Steve Vai and Eddie Van Halen, Zakk Wylde, and there was always this infamous shot he would always take. And it would be on his roof when the sun was going down. When I got the privilege to have him shoot me for a magazine, and then I got pictured on top of the roof, that's when I feel, oh, I've made it, Here I am at the top of the building, with the famous, the rooftop, and I felt pretty good about myself.
Do you even go on the street anymore? You're so distinguishable,
Well, normally I just wear my hair in a ponytail.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, if you don't wear the top hat and stuff, and you're okay, but you're pretty easily identified. You drive an Aston?
Yeah, the hat. Yeah, the hat's asking for trouble. Yeah, it's outside.
I had no clue who Tom Waits was, so I was supposed to go to this office building on Sunset, do a photo shoot with Tom Waits. Okay. So I sit down, about 3 minutes later, I see this guy I thought was some homeless bum walking in off the street. So 3 minutes later, she's like, Neil, come over here. I want to introduce you to Tom. So she takes me over to the homeless guy, and I'm like, ooh, that's Tom Waits. She goes, Neil, this is Tom. Tom doesn't. So we took him out in the alley here, and we shot those photos. I did a lot of work with Tom after that. The guy's a great guy. Shot him many times.
After leaving that shoot, did you know that picture would become so timeless?
No. I didn't know any of these photos would ever be timeless. I mean, who back in 1975 thought Led Zeppelin photos one day would be worth money, or the Rolling Stones, or even Van Halen when I was shooting them? I didn't know that 30 years later that would help me support my lifestyle,
We paid Neil to take photos of me. So I just took for granted I own my photos. And only recently did I find out I don't own my photos of me. Whoever took the photo owns the photo. I said, that's ridiculous.
Carmine's a drummer. I love Carmine. He's not the smartest cookie in the world.
What did you say?
Hey, Carmine.
I think Neil introduced you to your first wife. Is that correct?
He probably did, and it cost me a lot of money. Millions. I forgot that. He did. Yep. I'll never forgive him.
I got married because I met my dream fantasy girl.
I was working at a hospital. It was the furthest thing from my mind, was a long-haired rock and roll crazy guy.
When I met her, I was like, oh my God, this chick's amazing. I got to hook up with her.
The very first time that I introduced my family to anybody, it was a doctor. And they were like, yes, she's gonna marry the doctor.
Boring. And then she hooked up with me, and she had a lot of fun.
He's a character.
Met her in 83, 84.
And I think that's basically what attracted me to him.
Hooked up with her in 88. Got married in 93.
Thank God he's marrying somebody with a brain.
My son Zach came 96 and divorced 2002. That's a pretty long streak for me.
Neil could have anybody he wanted. You know, I know he had his own little groupies even.
When I came home with Neil, I said, oh, he's a rock and roll photographer. In rolls Neil with his leather jacket and his long curly hair. And my whole family just went.
Now we're getting married at 7 o'clock on the beach in Carmel.
We spent months before this preparing his XKE Jaguar.
She spent about a week and a half packing.
They were going to get the car ready for the wedding. We didn't tell anybody.
The day we were leaving at 9 in the morning, she got down there, the suitcase wouldn't fit in the boot of the Jaguar.
I had so many clothes.
So now we had to repack it.
I reduced it down to nothing.
Well, we had about an hour and a half out here. The Jaguar's just running amazing. It's purring.
It was a nightmare.
All of a sudden I look at the dash and there's this little light on.
The Jaguar breaks down. I'm like, this is a sign. This is a sign. We should not be getting married. Not only did my suitcase not want to get in the car broke down.
We had to turn around in Oxnard.
We came back to Los Angeles. We switched cars.
We left here at 12 o'clock.
We ended up being 6 hours late for our own wedding.
She had some makeup artists that she hired.
She put kinds of baby's breath in my hair.
I looked at her, I'm like, I don't know if I want to marry you anymore. I mean, this makeup artist was like grandma makeup. You know, my ex-wife was pretty smoking, you know, so I wanted smoking hot chick. I don't want ugly old, you know, granny goose.
I ended up redoing things quickly, and it was great. And it was overcast and cloudy. We get out to the cliff, and the clouds all move. They're gone. And it is the most beautiful, beautiful sunset that you can imagine. And Neil and I wrote our own vows, and it was really, really funny.
I was driving the photographer crazy. I'm like, dude, open up the shutter speed one. Why don't you overexpose it to half stop?
It was a great wedding. It was a great time. It was the simple times. Very simple times.
Like I said, everything changes. So we did good. I had a good long run with her, you know.
We loved each other for a long time, but opposites separate.
When they split up, I was like, oh, cool, now I get like 2 houses, 2 rooms, like all this stuff. My dad teaches me about like business ethics, while my mom teaches me about like care and love and all that stuff. Like, she's a mom.
We're really close. I love him to death. Still love him in my life.
She's like the best mom.
Oh, little Zach? Yeah, he's awesome, man.
When my kid was younger, they'd go, oh, he's so cute. What's his name? I'd go, his name's Zach. Oh, hi, Zachary. I'm like, no, no, no. His name's Zach.
Me hanging out with him playing guitar and stuff like that, yeah, totally.
Now, I named my kid Zach Zlozower, basically after Zach Wilde.
He loves Zach. There's no doubt about that.
I was fortunately raised with the silver spoon.
He was the coolest dad, like, ever.
I took everything for granted.
This is a good, like, long-distance cruising car. You know, like, when I go to Monterey, this is our car of choice.
I think I was like 16, and we always go to Monterey every year. And we were driving in the car, and it's like a 6-hour drive, and it was just like a boring part of the drive. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, Zach, I need to talk to you about life. He's like, first of all, like this point on, life's just gonna get shittier.
And he's teaching Zach lessons that may be harsh at the moment, but can be beneficial later on in life.
Like that's what he started with, and I was like, oh my God, like, what are you trying to say right now?
He's not the dad, oh, come here and let's talk about it.
He's taught me a lot of really, really good things about life.
He's gruff, he's rough.
And then that's when it really hit me that like I needed to start like living on my own and start acting like an adult and be mature.
Figure it out, you know?
He doesn't take any shit from me, like.
That's Neil. And he's really gruff.
Oh, you leave the lights on in the bathroom, like, that's $10 you owe me, like.
There's a lot of shows.
We should eat that.
He treats me basically like a roommate.
That's fine. We'll give that to Zach.
Sometimes, yeah, he could be a dick. It's hard for like that guy to say sorry.
All you have to do is make sure that this is in the shadow.
I know, I've been doing that. Look, I can see, look, it's in the shadow now.
It's there. See, it's there.
Okay.
Hold it. One, right here. Good, hold it. Hold it. Steven. Hold that.
Late 82, early 83, we do our 6-song EP, and we do the photo session here. For the cover, we had Tawny Katane. We wanted her legs. We came up with a concept, and we wanted to get rats on her. 5 rats is the band, members. And so we called a company called Rent-A-Rats.
I'm like, rent-a-rat? There's a place that rents rats?
Okay, when I count to 3, Slozy's, throw the rats on her, and then we'll collect them, and then we'll keep doing it until we get the right shot. The crazy thing about that EP photo session was, if you look at the photo on Tawny's legs, there's 6 rats. So somehow another rat got thrown in there, or we found somewhere, which is crazy, because we only rented 5.
I used to have a pet rat. It was probably one of the best pets. I had fish and turtles and lizards and hamsters and dogs and parakeets and then canaries. But literally, rats were probably the best pet.
Go see Emma. There she is. Oh, you can only go so far, huh? Emma!
His love for animals, his love for prostitutes, it's awesome. He's got a heart of gold.
Yeah, this is the Zlozower Zoo. Yeah.
Dude, I can't travel. I got sick animals. Yeah, he's got a pet hospital going for sure.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Commando. Well, the story is behind Commando.
Commando came from an exiled Zakk Wylde.
We called it Exile on Zloz Street.
Zach was living at the house here for like a week.
The immortal beloved. She wasn't too happy with my drinking shenanigans.
And I guess he was bored one day maybe, and he went down to the Beverly Center
to buy another Rottweiler for his house.
And this little guy was in there, and he was just like shivering and shaking, and I was just looking at him. He was with all these other dogs, and he was just looking at me like, oh, please, for the love of God, get me out of here.
He walks in with this little thing that looks like a rat.
Which, if I remember right, was many thousands of dollars.
And then we had him at Neil's.
Zach leaves the next day without the dog.
I was just like, Zloz, I want you to have Commando. So he's had Commando ever since. So, he pisses his bed, craps all over the place.
Because it was sick all the time.
We had to shoot like this medicine down his throat every day.
1, 2, 3. Open up. Don't push me away. Come on. Open up. Oh, open up. Come on. Oh. I don't think I got much. I got more than him. He's got to get more.
We'd had this bucket of paint, and we'd walk outside my room, and his whole face would be covered in green paint.
Shit. See? Come on. Ooh.
And then we came out again, and then after we wiped out off his face, and it was green again, he found it, and he got to it, and then he just liked eating paint, I guess.
But he's like the best guy in the world. And he has the greatest life ever because he's hanging with Zloz all the time.
He just told my dad to keep the guitar, and same with Commando.
My animals are my best friends. Can't go about my cat because my ex-wife doesn't know I have a cat. I said to Zach, hey, Zach, Daddy's lonely. I think I'm going to get a cat. So he went home and told Bongo.
Bongo? I had no idea where that came from.
Hey, Mom, Dad's going to get another cat. And she goes, yeah, what the fuck do you mean you're going to get another fucking flea bag cat? Don't you know our son's allergic?
Apparently I annoy him where it sounds like there's bongos going off in his head. Part of me is proud of that because somebody has to get in his head and give him bongos.
We would take these dogs for a walk. It was like a comedy show. Neil was totally fine with it. I'm like, so do we just lift the dog? And what do we do here? And they're both totally slow. So it's like just going down one road took 30 minutes. And then to top it off, Neil has to stop and talk to every neighbor.
They give me enjoyment that no other human being can give me that same type of enjoyment.
He's so tough, and trust me, I've been through the mill with him. But I think he's got that really tender heart deep down inside.
Underneath all that salty, kooky kind of exuberant attitude and even aggressive, visceral attitude, there's really a very, very warm, sensitive, incredibly sensitive guy. There, I said it, so fuck you, Neil.
And then it was always
An Asian chick.
Asian girls.
Yeah. Asian ladies.
I don't know that Neil has ever dated a lady. They may become ladies, but not today.
Definitely loves Thai women.
Yes, that's top on the menu. All the time. Asian cuisine.
You know, it's like I like the color pink. He likes Asians.
I had my girlfriend in Thailand.
I like exotic girls. I don't want white American anymore. I was married to one. It's just their thinking in my mind sort of fucked up. Because I used to walk down the street with my ex-wife, and being a photographer, look, if you walk down the street, if you see something that catches your eye,
You could just see the look in his eye. He gets this.
you have to look before you know what it is. So it could be an old lady, it could be an old man, it could be a fat lady, a fat guy.
Did you see that over there?
So every time I'd look, and if it just happened to be a hot chick, I'd get, ow, ow, I never saw your head move so fast. You want me to take you to the hospital? You must have a broken neck. I've never seen it move that fast.
He's like a little old lady.
And one day it backfired, because we were sitting in one of my cars, and we were stopped at a light, and I look over, and here's this hot chick driving a 911 Porsche. So I looked at her, and then I'm like, and I could just feel here Bongo glaring at me like steam coming out of her head, and I didn't look at her. And then I finally looked at her and she's like, ow, ow, you like that girl. You want to go out with her, huh? Yeah. Excuse me, he likes you and he wants to go out with you. And the girl was like, okay, let me write my number down and give it to you. Well, she never pulled that trick again.
There weren't a lot of girls. It was just me for all those years.
Kyoko's Asian.
Back in the day, I thought that Neil is kind of like a bad, horny photographer because he was hitting on my friend and he sort of screwed her.
I just think he's done with it. You know, he's got a really nice girlfriend. You know, I mean, it's a long distance relationship or whatever.
He's a much better person than I thought.
Kyoko is probably the nicest, sweetest girl I've ever met in my whole life.
My image of him started to change ever since.
Oh, look who it is.
He said, you know, I don't want to cheat on her because she's just the nicest person I've ever met. And I'm going, is this Neil?
So we started to talk a lot. We went out to dinner, and then I think I fell in love with him. Yeah.
Oh, she's so pretty. So nice.
That's who I like to think he is, you know, because she's so nice. I don't want to do that to her. So that's a huge change.
My body right now is changing. And unfortunately, it's getting older and uglier.
The Neil that walked in this studio a few minutes ago was not the Neil I met 30 years ago.
I'm beginning to understand that he's really honest and good person.
He's always been the playboy. He's always been with different girls, like a lot of girls. Now he's settled down, but he's still the same. He doesn't like cheat or, like I said, he doesn't lie. He's a good stand-up dude.
But the one thing that has stayed the same is his love of young, exotic girls. That's never changed.
Clown was at my house one night.
And he was telling us that he had lost basically a rubber.
And the night before, I boned this chick on my couch.
And I'm just like this, you know, I'm just like, whatever, man. It's just Neil.
I couldn't find the rubber. It's like disappeared.
And we're eating oysters, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh my God, there's that rubber. And he goes down.
Oh, Neil, oh my God.
And right under my buddy's leg, he grabs the rubber and he picks it up. He's like, I knew it fell off. And
You go, oh, I was wondering what happened to that.
I don't know where it went. And then there it was. It was the most disgusting thing as we're trying to eat fucking oysters.
I don't know why it was up his butt.
My friend got up and walked out of his house and walked home, and I just laughed so hard. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, Neil's the real deal, man. He's like a rock star. That's my friend Neil. Like, I wouldn't take that back for anything. That's what I got into rock and roll, is to be around people that just are open and cut free and just are just maniacs. And Neil is definitely a fucking crazy man.
He's still a party guy, but he still works really hard to this day. You know, he's in a studio like all the time, and he always works on his cars and his motorcycles, so I think that gives him some peace.
The Dalai Lama is one of my heroes. He's one of my mentors in life.
全てのものは変わる。 何一つとして同じものはない。
Everything changes, nothing stays the same.
Everything changes.
Nothing stays the same. I can hear his voice right now. He says that all the time.
Right action, right effect. Okay, so it's karma. So I try to help people.
My door's open all the time.
I know. They'll probably tell you, oh, Neil's got a big heart, he helps everybody. Yeah, a lot of times I help people and I get fucked.
If he says he'd do something, he'll stick to it. But if you, for want of a better word, fuck him over or lie to him, and the same as to me, you know, if you lie to us, you're done.
I don't want to get fucked unless it's by a hot, young Asian girl.
He's just always been the same awesome person, the same sweetheart since before the Buddhism and then after.
He has like no judgment and he has compassion. I mean, he's truly like a Buddhist.
When Neil talks to me on the phone, he's definitely not a Buddhist.
His bark is a lot worse than his bite. And I think because he has such a genuine heart of gold, he bites hard.
I come into his studio one time just to visit him, and there's, you know, some guy that looked like he was painting his wall. Later on, I asked Neil, I'm like, you know, who was that guy anyway? He's like, oh, you know, it's this homeless guy outside, and that guy ended up spending, I don't know, I don't want to say exactly, but I think it was a month on Neil's studio.
One of the things that was so interesting to me about Neil was in all of his animated, exaggerated expression, he really got the deeper meaning of these incredibly esoteric spiritual principles.
If you sort of remember those two philosophies, everything changes, nothing stays the same, and no one escapes old age, sickness, and death, that right there is the beginning of a new you.
And that's what Neil has always been, is the Buddha.
But is he a Buddhist? Not a chance. Not a chance.
One of the tricks of being a great rock and roll photographer is knowing which bands are gonna be big before they get big.
I just shot the biggest bunch of fucking assholes.
Neil, this is Kurt. Kurt, this is, you know, Neil.
So no, I said, what were this band called? He went, Nirvana? You ever heard of them?
And then he was like, they basically just ignored me.
Because I didn't even finish the roll. I shot 6 frames and like, fuck you.
After one roll of film, I was like, okay, guys, we're done. And they're like, we're done? I'm like, yeah, nice knowing you. Meet you in the next world, you know. And that was it. And it was like, to me, probably the most pathetic, worst photo shoot I ever did in my career. I got a little glimpse of that with Guns N' Roses back in 1987 when they came into my studio before they were popular.
He was getting to know Guns N' Roses, which is very uncooperative bunch of guys.
They really changed the whole rock and roll scene. So after Guns N' Roses, everybody was more jeans, t-shirts, nasty street vibe. All the hairspray was getting less and less, and you know, they just changed everything. They were really trendsetters. I was asking to see Sledge, yeah, he's in the neighborhood, he stopped.
I do, but then I get bombarded in that place by the people that work there.
You probably get bombarded every fucking place you go.
Once people started wearing cutoff shorts at gigs,
their response to all that glamour was to come out in combat boots and shorts. But guess what happened quickly? That became a uniform.
The whole industry has changed. The whole industry of the glam.
In the 80s, all the bands like Rat Poison would be pointing, and they'd ham it up for the camera. And you could sell the same shoot to 50 different magazines. I mean, in the 80s, the money was rolling in.
Neil's seen it all. You know, he saw all the transformations, and then when Nirvana come out and the strip ended. So everyone's gonna wear flannel shirts now.
Then when the grunge came, it wasn't cool to be rock stars anymore. I hate my mother, I hate my father, life sucks, I have no money.
It's okay to be unhappy when you're poor, but when you sell platinum albums, if you're still unhappy, then you're a fucking idiot.
I don't even shoot photos anymore.
Which is why I don't shoot music anymore, and obviously why you don't. You can't make money at it.
Yeah, it's rough. You know, I could make more money going to the 7-Eleven on the corner or mopping the floors and shooting photos, but...
His work ethics are insane.
Well, I get out of bed, Then I fucking feed the dogs, hop in the shower, take my vitamins. Then I start my weights when I come out. Then clean up dog shit, dog piss, walk them, more weights, and then go to the studio. Penny. Want to see me ream someone a new butthole? Being a photographer, only 30% is shooting the photos.
And another huge part, and you cannot learn it from anywhere else. Yeah. It's actually the business part of photography.
This big Russian guy, like, we drink vodka together and get drunk together, you know.
A huge part of this full-time success, it's actually meeting Zloz.
Igor, you know, that was sort of my friend and probably the greatest living live rock photographer on this planet.
He helped me a lot and is still helping me a lot.
Dude, the guy's just fucking incredible. I'll send you a link.
That's very high praise coming from you.
He's helping tons of photographers now. So, and he loves doing it.
I don't know if he realizes the respect that people have for him.
Neil never has an air about him that, hey, I'm Neil Zlozower.
He lets me use his studio, and I get paid for the shoots. And I'm like, Neil, I'll pay you. And he's like, Barker, I want you to make money.
You know, I sit here, I'm on the phone every day that I don't go to. Studio.
Neil, good morning.
He rings you up, Neil, and he's on the phone. He's going, hold on! And he's like taking like another call. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, go do it. I'll call you later. I got another call too. I'll call you later. I'm doing my own invoices. I'm writing my own checks.
The guy knew how to make a living in a very difficult and I'd say desperate business.
Now, no one shoots a great photo. What the photographers do now is create an image.
A lot of people his age, once digital came around, they were done. They didn't want to figure it out.
He goes, you're gonna be digital one day. You're gonna be digital one day. I'm like, Barrett, I'm not gonna be digital. I'll never be digital.
When he had to reinvent his business and reinvent the wheel.
Well, one day I went digital.
He did it.
2009,
2009, yeah.
When I basically went pretty much all digital. You know, I was shooting only studio digital for a while, and I was still shooting live on film. People, oh, you must get $10,000, $20,000 for a shot on the cover of Rollins. Yeah, right. It's not even close to that.
Yeah, there is such value in that archive that Neil has. I really want him to get everything scanned.
Well, I'm not scanning in all my work, but I'm scanning. I mean, will take me till 5 lifetimes to do. I mean, you're at my studio here. I have 19 4-drawer file cabinets filled with transparencies and black and white nags.
You always need somewhere to back all that stuff up, because if those electronics fail, then you're... So the negatives are very important still. The negatives are really what counts, so I need to take care of those.
I've moved on and started my photo agency, Atlas Icons, where I license out my photos for the last 45 years along with other photographers.
I'm really honored to be in his collection of people he's photographed.
What I do now, scanning photos and cleaning up, is the most monotonous, tedious work you can imagine.
All of his photos, from when he started shooting, or at least the ones that weren't destroyed or stolen or never returned, are incredibly documented, touched up. He's incredibly detail-oriented to a forensic degree.
But I actually enjoy it. I consider myself sort of like a plastic surgeon fixing things.
It's work. It's manual labor, basically, and it's data entry.
At night, while you're shooting, I'm going home and getting rid of dust marks and scratches. My film's been handled so much in the past. You got to remember, this shot here is from 1986. So this thing's probably been sent to magazines for the last 30 years who've been running AC/DC stories or whatever. Back in the film days, before there was scanning, you know, you'd send your shit out, get it back, you hold it up to the light, it'll look fine. But it wasn't until the digital age where you start scanning this that you can see all the defects and flaws and everything like that.
Oh, how to let it on my sexy girl. Yeah, how to let it gonna take it to the show.
If I have 100,000 photos up there, 100,000 photos I've done this to.
That's Zlozower.
Neil's a great foodie, which not many people know.
I'm electric. Yes, I am.
I'm your electric man. I'm electric. Yes, I am. Oh, I'm electric. I'm your electric man. Your electric man. Electric man. I'm your electric man.
Cooking oysters.
They love it.
He'd know we'd go to like Corpus Christi and he'd know where to go and get oysters.
I think that Dave Lombardo ate about 30 oysters.
He is insane with these oysters. He goes out and he'll keep doing it all night.
And all he talks about to me is food.
God, if I had to put up with him taking 3 freaking hours to find a restaurant that we could eat at.
Do not forget, for all this whole vortex of noise, underneath it all, the one thing that people forget is he is a great photographer. And that's a fact. He's a great rock and roll photographer. That is a fact.
You know, I've been doing the same thing for 46 years, you know. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do when I grow up.
Electric man. Electric